guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So this is episode 1 of my makeup series for beginners, and so essentially I'll be showing you all what's in my makeup bag. And with that being said, these will be the items that you need to purchase, you know, of your choice, of course, but these are the primary items that you will need to purchase to achieve a full face of makeup. And so if you want to see what's in my makeup bag and what I use and what I recommend that you all purchase, then definitely stay tuned. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you know when I upload, and also so you know when the next episode of this makeup series will be posted. So I'll go ahead and get into it. And so I do have a list here that I'm going to go down, and I'll be showing you products as well. And so the order in which that I'll be showing you these things is the order in which I apply my makeup, give or take, you know, a few differences here and there depending on the circumstances and depending on if I'm going to be doing a colorful eyeshadow look. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first things first, I recommend that you all pick up a primer. The primer will ensure that your makeup is able to last for however long you need it to, and just, you know, stay put on your face and not cake up and not break up throughout the day. And so the two primers that I do like to go in with are, all right, so first things first, you will need to purchase a primer. And the primer essentially is used to make sure that your face is protected, of course, you know, after you apply your moisturizer and sunscreen, but also just to ensure that your makeup lasts as long as possible, whether you're looking to wear your makeup for a few hours or you're looking to wear your makeup for the whole day. It just ensures that it stays intact, that it's in place, and that it's set and ready for you to go, and you don't have to constantly keep, you know, touching up in the bathroom. So the primers that I do like to go in with, number one, I do like to use this Milk Hydro Grip Primer. You can purchase this at Sephora. And if you're new, I do recommend that you try the smaller sizes first, just to kind of get acquainted with the product to see if you really want to invest in a full-size product. Second, this is an OG, and this is the Becca Evermatte Poreless Primer. And I like to go in with this on top of my Milk Hydrating Primer just because I am very oily. So if you're oily, this is a great primer for you. And I know they have a few dupes out there as well. I think by NYX, and then I know e.l.f. has a poreless putty essentially, and so definitely figure out what works for you. But I always go back to that. Since I am oily, it definitely keeps my makeup on long throughout the day, and so I definitely recommend it if that's something that you're looking for. That can be purchased at Ulta or Sephora, and like anything else, you can purchase it online. All right, next I am going to be talking all about brows. And so I don't know if you're like me or not, but I have not perfected my brows just yet. Every day they look different. I know there's a saying that says that brows are sisters, not twins, but honestly, I don't even know if my brows are in the same family. I don't even know if they're related, to be honest. But nonetheless, something that helps me kind of keep them intact is this brow gel, and this is by Benefit. And this is just a clear brow gel, and of course you can use any brow gel, you know, that you can get your hands on. None of this has to be expensive or high-end, so I definitely like that one. It's an OG, and I do keep gravitating back towards that one. Next, I have a brow pencil, and so what I typically use is this Anastasia Brow Wiz, and this is in the shade dark brown. And so on one end it has a nice, you know, thin pencil, and then on the other end it has a spoolie. So this is kind of what it looks like, just nice and thin, and it makes it easier for you to fill in and also kind of outline your brow. And then the other end is just a spoolie, which is super convenient. You know, when you're traveling, everything is right there for you. And then of course I have another eyebrow pencil, and this is by LA Colors, and this can be purchased, you know, at Dollar Tree or Family Dollar. But you will have to, you know, have a little sharpener with that one. But that's a easy go-to if you need something nice and bold, and something really quick. That's a great option. And recently I've been reaching for this brow pen, and this is also by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's essentially like an eyeliner. And I've also been using this as an eyeliner, but it has a nice, you know, felt tip. that allows for you, you know, to be quite precise. All right, so next let's speak about concealers. So the purpose of concealers, number one, is to highlight the areas that the sun naturally hits, but also you want to bring light to those areas after applying foundation and all the other makeup, because everything will be muted out, and so you kind of want to bring back some dimension into your face. And so the concealers that I've been gravitating towards, if y'all been watching my videos, is the Juvia's Place concealers. They're super affordable and I love the shades 9 and 10. And so this is kind of what the shades look like. 9 is closer to my skin tone, and so I do like to use that under my brows. And then 10 is a little bit lighter, that adds a little extra more coverage and a little extra pop for that highlighted look. This concealer blends out beautifully. Just make sure you let it sit a little bit, but honestly, I won't go back. I won't go back to any other concealer, but before that I was using the NARS creamy concealer in the shade Amande. So next, of course, you cannot forget your foundation. And so with foundations, it can be so tricky. I think I've just now, after, you know, playing with makeup for about 3 years, I think I've just now kind of found a shade that, you know, works for me. It's very difficult to find a shade that matches you exactly, because if you experience hyperpigmentation like I do, or any woman, you know, of color or darker complexion, even fair complexions, you know, if you struggle with acne, you know, or, you know, sunspots or anything of that nature, it can be really hard to kind of figure out what your color is, because your chest can be one color, your neck can be one color, your jawline and the perimeter of your face can be one color, and your under eyes can be another color. And let's not talk about, you know, if you struggle with baggy eyes, or if you struggle, you know, with hyperpigmented eyes, like that's just a whole separate ballpark. And so nonetheless, once you are able to trial and error and figure out what your foundation shade is, then definitely you're gonna need to purchase some foundation. And so that was turned backwards a little bit, but the foundation that I have been gravitating towards right now is the NYX Born to Glow, and I am in the shade Sienna. And I've definitely used this up. This is about, you know, definitely more than halfway gone, and my local Target had these on sale, so I went ahead and picked up 2 more. But this is a glowy finish, and so if you are an oily girl and, you know, you like to wear dewy foundation, make sure you prime. It's going to be crucial that you prime. All right, next, this is probably one of the most important, you know, makeup items that you need to have in your collection. And also you can get away, you know, without having everything else, but this is necessary. You absolutely need it. And so what I'm talking about right now is setting powder. And so the setting powder that I have been gravitating towards is the Laura Mercier, and I just have a small one. As stated previously, I told you all to, you know, make sure you invest in the minis prior to committing, just because those products can get very pricey and you can end up wasting a lot of money. And also, if you can get samples, definitely get samples. But I have this tiny one, and this is in the shade Honey, and I like to apply this under my eyes. I'm not baking. I think when I started doing makeup initially, I was baking, but I'm not baking anymore because I have very, very dry under eyes, and I just didn't like how my makeup looked. And so I do use this very, very sparingly. But if you're oily, this is great to apply over your face before you apply, you know, your powder that is the same, you know, tone as your skin tone. And so recently I repurchased the Airspun translucent powder. You can purchase this at Walmart. I think I've seen this at Family Dollar as well, you know, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a great powder as well. That's nice. You know, it's finely milled, and it does a great job of blurring, especially under the eye, without being too dry. In the past, I did like to mix this with one of the Too Faced powders, and it gave me a seamless look. And so, as you can see, I've repurchased because I'm going backwards. All right, so still on powders. Next, what I want to discuss are your setting powders. And so, while those were loose and translucent, now I'm going to talk about our compact powders that we're using to set our face, which is our skin tone. So the ones that I do like to go in with are the Sephora Micro Smooth powders, and I'm in the shade Deep, and it's number 60, and I think they've kind of, you know, changed the colors just a little bit. So I know they have a 56 or a 54 and a 60 now, but essentially this is kind of what it looks like. And so also it can be a little tricky finding these shades as well. And so definitely, you know, if you have an option to get color match outside of COVID, you know, or you have an option to kind of get a sample, then definitely do so. The next compact micro smooth powder that I have it in the shade 40, and this is in the shade Tan. And so what I like to use this for is to set my under eye, because I did mention that Laura Mercier powder is a little drying for me, and it can be, you know, a little cakey. And so I like to go over this because it just smooths it out and blurs it out a little bit better. But still, for me, for under eye, I recommend going in with a loose translucent powder first, and then going on top of that with another powder if you prefer, for sure. All right, so next is the best part for me. I absolutely love this part of the process and makeup, because this just kind of brings everything together. It literally brings your face back to life. You know, with applying the foundation and everything else, our face is just kind of flat. But I love to kind of see my face come back to life and bring some dimension in, you know, with creating a little bit of shadowing. And so with that being said, I am talking about bronzing. Bronzing. This is my favorite part in the makeup process. And so one of my favorites right now is this bronzer, and this is by Morphe. It's affordable. You can purchase it at Ulta. I think it definitely retails for less than $15, but I want to say it's around $12 or $13. And the shade that I like to use is Leader. And this is a nice warm shade. And so if you are, you know, a dark-skinned woman or a woman of color, you all know that it can be kind of challenging sometimes to find the right bronzing shade, because sometimes they may be too warm, they may not have shades dark enough, or they may just be a little too cool, you know, or they just look a little muddy. They just don't have the right tone, you know, or the right undertone that goes with your skin tone. And so it can be a little challenging, but I found that I really like that one. But I have another one that I think is my favorite. I just recorded a video not too long on this one, and it's absolutely stunning. And so you don't need more than one bronzer, but definitely if you like to mix shades, then feel free to do so. But this is by Makeup Revolution, and this is the Splendor Ultra Matte Bronzer, and I am in the shade Deep. Number one, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. I love everything rose gold. And like, look at that. Like, how gorgeous is that shade? Absolutely beautiful. And so also, this is, you know, a fair amount of product, and you have a beautiful mirror. And so this is just something that is just so pretty. You know, I don't even want to use it, but nonetheless, the shade is the perfect mixture of warm and cool. It's beautiful, it's nice and chocolatey, and that's exactly how I like my bronzers, because for the most part I don't contour prior to my bronzer. Now if I have a bronzer that's a little light, I will go ahead and cream contour, you know, with like a darker foundation stick or what have you, just so that color can pop a little bit more once I put that powder on top. But for this, honey, you do not need to cream contour under this powder. All right, so next, after bronzing, my immediate step after that is to highlight. I have found my favorite highlighter, and you can definitely find some drugstore options that you like. I have a few alternatives as well, but I won't be getting into those in this video. But I do love this Becca Evermatte Poreless Primer, and this is what it looks like. And this can be purchased from Sephora, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Ulta carries Becca as well, because this is the same brand as that Poreless Primer. But this is absolutely stunning. I always wear it. It's a very natural, nice glow for darker skin tones. And so, you know, pick up whatever shade works for you, but you will need a little bit of highlighter. I know previously it was super trendy to OD on highlight. I found that that just didn't work for me. And so now I go for more of a natural glow, but I still like to see it on my face, you know, when I turn my head and let the sunlight hit me. All right, and so next, let's not forget about the fun part of makeup. Let's talk about eyeshadow. So typically in my makeup bag, you know, whether I'm traveling or at home, I usually go through phases of my favorites and what I like and what I'm using, you know, quite a bit. And so what I've been keeping in my makeup bag is this Jackie Aina palette. Everyone knows Jackie Aina. Everyone knows Anastasia, you know, Beverly Hills. But anyway, this is the palette. It has a nice range of warm tones, and you know, you can keep it neutral or you can get creative with it. And so that is a beautiful palette. But any other palettes, you know, like a neutrals palette, something that you can gravitate towards, you know, all the time, is something great to have, you know, in your makeup bag, especially when you're traveling. And the other thing is too, is that specifically I really like these little palettes by Huda. Super convenient. You can just throw these, you know, in your purse, in your bag, or what have you, you know, if you don't want to carry a huge, you know, makeup bag, essentially, because it does get really heavy. And so you don't have to purchase eyeshadow, you know, but you can. A lot of times when I'm wearing a neutral face just like this, I just like to put a little bit of my bronzer, you know, just above my crease and on my eyelids, and that works just fine. All right, so we are winding down to the end, and I will say this is another part of makeup that I love, probably coming in at number 2 behind bronzing, and it is my lips. Getting my lips together. I do think I have very flattering lips. They're very full, super cute, little Cupid's bow, you know, but I do think that they get a lot of attention, and so I do like to make sure that I wear, you know, some type of lip color. And so most of the times I wear something nude. Recently I've incorporated a little bit of pink, and so I'll go ahead and show you what lip products those are. Okay, so first things first, you are gonna need a lip liner, or at least I need a lip liner. My lips sometimes are a little bit darker than my skin tone, depending on if they're moisturized or not, but I never ever wear lip color without a lip liner. And so this is the lip pencil in Chestnut, and this is by MAC. Feel free to use whatever lip pencil you want. One of my new favorites is Cola by Juvia's Place, and that's also a nice brown lip liner. And then I am a fan of liquid lipstick, and so what I've been going in recently with is this Fenty liquid lipstick, and this is in Rosy Mauve, and I just like to put that in the center a little bit and blot, just so I can kind of get an ombre effect with that brown lip liner. And then if I'm not wearing that shade, I do go in with this liquid lipstick, and I purchased this at my local beauty supply store. And I do like to pair this with that Rosy Mauve, just put it a little bit in the middle, and it kind of lightens it up a little bit. And then last but not least, I do like to add a little bit of gloss, and this is also a Makeup Revolution gloss, and you can purchase this at Ulta as well, but any gloss works. Let's talk about finishing off those eyes. So the mascara that I just have not been able to let go of is this Bad Girl Bang, and this is by Benefit. And so I love this mascara. Let me turn it the right way. But anyway, I love this mascara, and it looks great as well. Whether you're wearing your natural lashes or whether you're wearing falsies. So I do like to coat prior to wearing falsies. And now that we're talking about falsies, I also like to keep some lashes, whether it's a new pack of lashes or whether it's some that I've already worn. I do like to keep those in my makeup kit, just in case I feel like, you know, I need a little extra flair, or I just want to take my makeup up a notch. And then last but not least, with false lashes, you want to make sure that you have some lash glue. So I do like to go in and use this dual lash glue, and it's clear. So setting spray just kind of sets everything and melts everything in. And the setting spray that I'm using right now is by Morphe, and this is the Continuous Mist Spray. But there are a lot of other, you know, setting sprays out there that are, you know, inexpensive and more affordable. I know Milani has some, and I know NYX has some as well. And so definitely figure out what works for you. I would recommend starting out with drugstore and sample products, as I've stated before. Alright guys, so just like that, this video is over. That was a mouthful, and so hopefully you're able to capture all those products. Please make sure to check the description box, as I have everything listed for you, just in case you need to take it to the store and start out your beginner makeup kit. Also, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, share this video with a friend, and I'll see y'all on the next one for episode 2. Bye guys.